Crystals and I have a very interesting relationship. I remember being a small kid and my mother would take us to the museum center. In the gift shop, they'd have like little samples, like cheap crystal samples of different minerals. And I was like obsessed with it. Like I wanted a collection. And my mom would buy me one because, you know, they're like $3 or something like that. They're not very expensive. And I'd take them home and she had this really pretty china cabinet with all this stuff displayed in it. And I was like, I carved out a shelf for my crystal collection. She's probably horrified because it was like in these like, you know, cheap little boxes. It would be like kyanite, you know? And I remember I was in college and I had to take a science class and I had to go in for like a workshop and they gave you a box of minerals and you had to identify everything. And I clearly and distinctly remember going in and picking up all the different rocks that were in this box and feeling it through my entire body, like, you know, like some sort of tuning fork or something like that. And I was like, what is going on? I was in England. I was about 29 years old. And we went to Camden Market and there was a person at Camden Market selling crystals. And I went up to the table and I was like, I'm gonna buy one of these. And I bought a piece of what, you know, was green calcite. I didn't really know that at the time. I just liked it. So I brought it and I brought it home. I woke up one morning and I didn't feel well. And I also had probably a hangover at that time. And I was sitting on the couch and I was just like, I feel awful. And something in me, I just reached over and picked up the crystal and held it. And I like closed my eyes and I probably sat there for like 10 minutes. And all of a sudden, like my giant headache and everything in my head went down out of my head, through my arm, down into the stone. And I was like, what just happened? And I was like, what was that? I found people in Cincinnati that taught crystal classes. And I remember I went over to, someone was offering like a very beginner crystal class. There was different sections of the class. There, you know, we learned about how to, you know, feel energy and things like that. And there was this one section where we built crystal grids. Then we took turns walking around and standing in each other's grids. And I remember there's like music playing, everyone was quiet. And I remember walking around and standing in somebody's grid and having the most overwhelming feeling of love that I've ever felt in my life. In fact, it was the first time in my life I had ever felt unconditional love. And I didn't even know that that was possible. I didn't know that that feeling existed. And after that experience, that totally encompassing feeling experience of love for the first time in my life at 30 years old, I was like, well, now I'm gonna have to do this forever, you know? Like, I mean, crystals have natural energy in them, and that's scientifically proven. And if you're sensitive to that, you can feel it. Not everybody feels everything with crystals. Some people, it's very interesting, they go, I work with crystals and I don't feel anything, and then like 3 days later they have a giant breakthrough. And some people see energy, not everybody feels it. I just know from a standpoint, I had never experienced love like that before. And after that, I was hooked.